We've had many individuals ask, how can they protect themselves, keep themselves safe? And it really starts with what you do on a daily basis.
Wait, what do you mean keep themselves safe?
Safe from getting, say, possessions, attachments, curses, hexes, spells, anything.
Oh, well, why did they ask that question, or when did they ask that question?
They ask it because they notice that initially the work that we normally do on individuals is clearing work.
Okay.
And it's not just a one-time deal. They have that work done until their frequency, they're able to keep their frequency high. So one of the things they ask is, well, how can I protect myself so that I don't attract these things, or these things aren't coming around me?
But how do they know that they attracted them in the first place? Just because we told them?
Because of the videos, we talk about how when your frequency is lowered, these things are attracted to you because you're at the same frequency as them and they attach to you.
That's all nice and good. But what I'm asking is, all right, so I watched the video, then how do I know that what I just saw in the video is real? That something attached to me, how do I know?
Well, the people that we work with can feel it, and they know it because of how they feel.
Well, how did they feel that? Because before they came to us, so they knew that before they even came to us?
No, they didn't. They
So
didn't.
will you please explain?
When the initial clearing work was done on them, they paid, I always let them know, okay, the initial work was done on you, please pay attention to how you're feeling in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
And majority of individuals, I'd say at least 85%, 90% of them will always say, I felt really good.
No, don't give details. They can tell that there was a difference.
They can tell there was a difference.
Okay, so that, I want to establish that.
Even some of their physical challenges that they were having all of a sudden are gone.
The point is that when they come to us, they don't know.
They don't
But
know.
once initial clearing work is done,
Mm-hmm.
they realize that there's an improvement in the way that they feel.
Yes.
Okay. Then what happens after that?
Well, after that, we ask them to pay attention to how they're feeling, and if they ever aren't feeling that good, then they should let us know.
Okay.
And sure enough, they let us know, because within days or week or so, all of a sudden they have to contact us again and say, you know what, I'm not feeling right again. Something is off. Please check me. And sure enough, there's something there again. Possession, attachment, something.
And so we do another clearing.
Yes.
All right. And so then that's when the question
That's
comes
when the
up.
questions come. How can I stop this from happening? How can I protect myself so that these things are not attaching to me when I might have a moment where my frequency is low? Because a lot of people don't really realize or have paid attention enough to know when their frequency is lowered.
Getting back to how you started just then, initially the individuals can't tell the difference. A clearing is done. They feel the difference. They know that it's not just us talking, but they can actually tell that
Yes.
there's a difference because they have the personal experience.
Yes.
And then you guide them or give them instructions on, okay, this is the way you should be feeling all the time.
Yes.
This is normal the way you're feeling now. It wasn't normal the way you were feeling before you came to us.
Correct.
It's pretty much what you're saying.
Yes.
And if you ever start to feel abnormal again, so it's a different perspective, right? They're so used to feeling one way, maybe headaches or frustration or cursing,
Anxiety.
or who knows what else, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety, high blood pressure, all kinds of things. All of a
Right.
sudden, the clearing is done. Now they feel a whole lot different than that. And you're telling them, memorize this one, this new feeling that you have after the clearing's done. Whenever you're not feeling this way anymore, let us know so we can go and check and see what's going on and get you back to feeling the way you should be feeling all the time,
Correct.
which is the new way.
Yes.
So then they go ahead and they pay attention a week. And I know some people it's months, and some people we do clearing once and then they never,
Right.
they're fine. So it's not like everybody, I want to clarify that also. There's not everybody that goes through, oh, please check me again.
Right.
We've had
right.
individuals we've done clearing one time.
And then that was it.
maximum
They were
2
fine
times,
from
and
there.
Exactly. Never have to do it again.
Right.
So anyway, they contact you and say, please check me. I love the way they send a message now. Please check me.
Very simple.
Exactly. And then we check. We have to do a clearing. I guess these folks are saying, wait a minute, why do I have to get checked again? Why does it keep happening to me?
Yes.
And that's where the question comes in.
Yes.
What can I do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Correct.
So that I don't have to call you guys again. because I don't want to bother you, hopefully, is probably what they're thinking, right?
Right.
So they can keep
So they
feeling
can
that
take care
way,
of themselves as well. They
Right.
want to learn to do things for themselves.
which is the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
All right.
My husband is great at summarizing things, isn't he?
Well, I want to make sure everybody gets it because that's the point of the video, right?
Yes.
So now, yeah, you're good at leaving out some of the details, but you're good also giving too much detail. So anyway,
I go to extremes. Not enough, too much.
okay, so now that they've asked the question, all right, I want to make sure I keep this good feeling for as long as I can. How can I do that? Mm-hmm. And if you hear barking, it's our dog outside. So, go ahead.
Well, we had a video about tools that we give individuals, and one of them is to start saying the violet flame.
What video is
Decree.
that? Do you remember the title of it? I guess you could do your magic. With
Yes,
the
I'll do the
tattoo.
magic, and I'll put that in the description of this video.
No, I thought you could do your where you could just click on it on the video.
I don't know how. Oh,
You've done that.
yes. I forgot what that's called. I'll figure it out and I'll put it on
Or
here.
we'll get Cece to. We'll get our youngest daughter to do it. She's the.
She's an editing pro.
Yes. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the first things we normally do to help individuals to start working on raising their frequency so that it can stay higher is by giving the violet flame decree. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. And we give the instructions on how to say it and when to say it, how often to say it.
And by the way, that's decrees are not decrees are something that are handed down by the ascended masters, whether or not you believe in them. Right. So these are not affirmations that human beings wrote.
Right.
These are written by or handed to us by the ascended masters. And this was not given to us directly. It was given to a different organization.
Right.
The I am a being of violet fire decree comes from Saint Germain. Just to let everybody know that it's not like we're special and then he gave them directly to us. We were instructed to go get
instructed
that
to
and
give it
use
out.
it and then give it out. Okay? And just know that every time we say I am, it represents the name of God. You're not saying I am as in you, the person.
Correct.
You're saying the presence of God within me. Okay, that's what you're referring to. Anyway, go ahead.
So that's one thing. And then it's different normally for every individual. Some individuals who want to get extra protection, they might be given the Catholic prayer to Archangel Michael. We also have other decrees that we've given out.
We're not going to go looking for them.
Right.
But we have several types of decrees that you can be given, and the way it looks is the intensity of the decree correlates with your level of
Consciousness?
level of need
Got it.
for protection is the way it
Right.
seems.
Okay. So then you're given these, you're told how to use them, but the question is then, is there anything else I should do?
Oh, the co-create. That's the biggest thing. I know we have a video on co-creation.
We do.
See, it goes like this. You go and you say, and then here's a great example. You say, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. Well, what are you really saying? You're saying, I am a being, right? The presence of God within me is a being of violet fire. Well, the violet fire is an aspect of the Holy Spirit. You're talking about some high-level spiritual stuff there, right? And then you go what? I am the purity God desires. Okay. So if you're the purity that God desires and you're really pure, and you want to be pure because that's what God wants you to be, you say this in multiples of 3, that's what it's supposed to be said, until you calm down, until you feel better. And as soon as you're done, you go to the grocery store or you're in the parking lot and someone takes the parking spot that you just want to turn into. And then what do? You start cussing at the person. What do you think just happened?
I think you just negated all that beneficial work that you did with Violet Flame.
Right, and what happened to I am the purity God desires?
So it's also a matter of changing how you behave then and respond instead of react to situations?
I won't even say change the way you're behaving. I believe that the biggest challenge people have is internalization of what the tool is that's given to them. Because if you internalize the tool, look at the Bible. You know how many fantastic things are in the Bible? And I know so many people that can state things in the Bible.
They quote it.
Quote, right? They quote things in the Bible. I mean, it sounds wonderful when they quote it. The question then becomes, how many of them are actually living what the Bible
Teaches.
states or teaches?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'd rather have someone that doesn't know how to quote the Bible, but by looking at that individual, I can tell that they're living by the words of the Bible. I prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
That's called internalization. It's similar to what we've always said. And I believe it goes back to schooling. You know? And that's why we're picky about where our kids go to school. Because some schools, colleges, what do? They prepare you for a job. There's nothing wrong with the job.
Right.
But when you go there, they want to teach you how to write a resume, how to interview.
Mm-hmm.
There are other schools that prepare you to be your own boss. They teach you how to be an entrepreneur. Their courses every course is about being an entrepreneur. I mean, when I was at Northwestern, they taught us was what? When you start your own business, you know, when you IPO your own business, they ain't talking about going to work for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's one of the top 10 universities
Mm-hmm.
in the United States.
Right.
They think differently. Now, that's not just Northwestern. A lot of schools in the United States are like that. Well, it's similar to me, and I brought that up because the teachings itself, the ASM masters tell us, implement, right? Go practice what we teach you. They don't tell us to go read a book. Every now and again, they'll recommend a book to an individual. Mm-hmm. And every time that's happened is because what's in that book is specific to that individual, and that individual needs to go and implement what's in that book. Because
we have a whole video talking about implementation as well.
So if you're here and we're giving you tools, you use the tools, but then you turn around and do something that doesn't match what that tool is designed to do, mm-hmm. then you're not co-creating. So a simple decree, 2 lines, it's only 2 lines. But if you internalize what the decree is saying, I am a being of violet fire, which means you are a being of the Holy Spirit, which is part of God, right? Mm-hmm. The Trinity, the Holy Trinity, right? Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Notice something?
Yes.
It fits right in there. So you're part of God. I am the purity God desires. If you're pure, are you going to go cussing on somebody?
No.
Are you going to think bad thoughts about somebody?
No.
Are you going to go and do something negative to somebody?
Mm-mm.
Because you are the purity that God desires. So if you just focus on just those 2 lines, and you understand what those 2 lines are saying, of course the way you look at life will be different. So you don't have to try to change, just internalize that tool that you've been given, and that will help you reprogram and you'll become a different person.
And then you won't require these protection prayers or anything else because that will help keep your vibration frequency high?
No, I'm not saying you require that.
Oh, okay.
I'm using that as an example of how you co-create.
Okay.
Right? Even with the protection prayer or one of the protection decrees, let's take a very simple one. What's a very simple one?
Beloved, I am presence, beloved Saint Germain. You take command of this entire situation. I shall not be moved.
Well, that's not a protection decree, but okay, that works. Right, you use that when you're concerned about something, right? And you don't want to deal with it, as in you don't want to ignore it. But what you're saying is, I accept the fact that Jesus is here, and Jesus will take care of this, or Saint Germain will take care of this. I'm not going to waste my time on that. As in, you're not going to allow yourself to be pulled down by something or by someone and their actions or what they do.
Okay.
That's what that decree is for.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that to keep your frequency high, you refuse to engage in anything negative. That's what that decree is saying. So by saying, beloved, mighty, I am present, which is the presence of God within you, beloved Saint Germain, you take command of this entire situation. I shall not be moved. Mm-hmm. What you're saying is, my neighbor is giving me trouble over there. I'm not going to get moved by that. You take command and control of that. Whether it's Jesus or, in this case, it's Saint Germain we're saying, but it could be Jesus, it could be Buddha, it could be Mother Mary, it could be beloved Muhammad, it could be beloved Krishna. Doesn't matter what name you put in there. The ascended masters will respond. It could be Archangel Michael. It could just be beloved universe because you don't believe in God. They don't care. You call the universe. Guess who responds? The ascended masters and the angels. Because they're the universe. So anybody, I don't care what you use, they're still going to respond because they're loving in that way.
Okay.
But the point is that by saying that, you are making the statement. You're saying, I refuse to be moved by this situation. I know that you're handling it.
Okay.
So I'm not concerned about it. So now you make that statement, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go off and then what do you start to do? So, I wonder what's going to happen. And then you stress yourself out because you're so concerned about what's going to happen. But you already made the statement that,
you will not be moved.
Mm-hmm. But now you're being moved. So the co-creation then, what does it do? It destroys what you're supposed to internalize, and then it doesn't happen. Because you're contradicting what you've said, what you've commanded with the actions that you're taking.
Okay.
So how can you get protection if you don't believe that you're protected in the first place? So even if we give you a protection decree and you don't believe you're protected,
it's not going to work anyway.
Why would it work?
You have to know that it's there.
Right, because again, that's one frequency. But remember, everything we do, God doesn't do everything for us. Mm-hmm. We have to co-create with Him. So we have to do our part. So God does His part, we don't do our part, it's not going to work. At least not fully. It won't be fully effective.
How about, in the name I am that I am, I demand the reversing of all negatively qualified energy directed against me or the light for which I stand. Is that a protection one too?
That's a protection where you're reversing, right? Any negative energy or frequency that's directed at you.
But you have to know that that's what's taking place.
Well, here we go, right? So I make that statement. Because I'm at the store and the cashier was just mean to me. Mm-hmm. And while the cashier is being mean, I'm saying this, right? I'm mumbling this because I want to stay calm. And then after I've said it 3 times, the cashier is still acting crazy over there. And so then I just started lashing out the cashier.
Well, that's not going to help.
Get the point?
Yes.
So it's not about the tool being given to you, it's what you do with it.
Okay.
So if we give you a tool, use that tool.
Mm-hmm.
And until you give it another one, don't ask us for another one, because obviously the one that you're given is all you need.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why people keep asking for extra is because they're used to, in this regular life, to always have an abundance of stuff.
And to have instant satisfaction or gratification.
It's not even that. How many times have people bought a book, they leave it in a bookshelf, never read it?
Many times.
They buy 3 or 4 of them.
A lot of times.
It's the same habit that they're bringing to the teachings. And what they don't understand is that with the teachings, we don't read stuff.
But implementing,
you implement
do it.
You have to do it. And as you do it, that's how you learn.
Okay.
Some of our best people that have accomplished excellent results, what have they done? They've just done the things. Then they update us. Oh, I did this, and because I saw your video, this felt good.
So I did this.
So I did it.
And this is what happened.
Exactly.
And it's good stuff.
Because they're implementing. Mm-hmm. We didn't give them a book to read. You know? Mm-hmm. Because number one, we weren't guided to give them one. If we were guided, we'd give it to them.
Right.
But we never get guided to give them one. So we just give the tools that we were guided to give to them. Every individual gets what they need when they need it. If you're not giving anything, you don't need to ask. You can ask and we'll probably tell you, we don't have anything for you yet. Mm-hmm. But when you're supposed to get it, you will get it because we're guided and we don't discriminate. With us, every life matters.
Yes.
Okay? So, just want everybody to know that. Because every life is a spiritual life.
Yes.
So, we should have one of those up there. All spiritual lives matter.
Indeed.
We're all spirits. Exactly. I hope that helps. I don't know.
I think so. I think that will help individuals understand about protecting themselves. It really comes from implementing what's in the videos, what tools they are given, and just making sure that they internalize it and put the emotion behind it that is necessary when they internalize it to keep yourself at a higher frequency, which will help protect you.
I know that it's done. See, that's the hardest part, and I know that. When I was very young, as I told you, I used to order books from the U.S. and I ordered this little book. I realized that it was a book on metaphysics. I don't remember the title. I lost the book years ago. But in that book, they had mentioned the way metaphysics works is that you declare something and then you forget about it. You're not even supposed to remember it. Because when you do that, you start to contradict what you've put out there. And to me, it works the same way. As in, you decree something and you know it's done. Now, it's not about having faith, right? You just decree it and you know that you send messages of taking care of it. And the more you do that, you might not see the results right away, but the more you do, you start to see more results, and you start to understand, okay, this is real. But until you try, you'll never know if it's real. And that's what we tell people, try it. You know? Prove that what we say is wrong. Please, we encourage you to prove that what we say is wrong. When we say that we can help you feel different, we can help you change your life, test us. You know, don't just take our word for it. Or don't be a skeptic and say, I don't believe it. Okay, be a skeptic and get in touch with us and see how your life can change.
Right.
After all, how much will it cost you?
Nothing.
Right?
Just your time.
Exactly.
Anything you want to improve yourself.
What could be better? Yeah. And when you finish, just promise us that after it's proven to you that God exists and He loves you and He helps you, that you go and spread the word out there like the disciples did. Let people know. He helped me. You get in touch with those people because we want you to go and preach too. Anyway.
Okay. Hopefully this video has helped you in some way. Feel free to share it with other individuals. You can find us on our website at 190vision.com. You can find us at 190vision on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook as well.